Welcome back to East Cobb, Georgia, the ABA kickoff. It's time for some prospect baseball after the varsity team fell short in their comeback bid against P27, 4-3. Controversial finish at the end of that ball game that saw P27 walk away with the one-run win. We'll talk more about that later as we get ready for some prospect ball. 7 innings, so the Kingsmen take on Wellington Sports Academy out of the eastern coast of Florida. Griffin Leonard here on the call for you. Kingsmen and Wellington set to battle here in a couple of minutes. The Kingsmen are the away team in game number 2 of today's 2 games for the Academy. We'll be right back here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. The Kingsmen will take to the bats, and I'll walk us through the starting 9 when we get back on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Welcome back here to East Cobb, Georgia. Griffin Leonard here on the call for the Kingsmen and Wellington Sports Academy out of Wellington, Florida. We welcome all of you into the broadcast here. Sorry about the late start, of course, at the mercy of the 11:30 game beforehand, but hey, at least it gave everybody a chance to catch their breath and settle in for Game 2. Ryan Waters will lead things off for the Kingsmen prospect team. It's Waters, Beatrice, and Hart. The rest of the starting 10 in just one moment. On the mound for Wellington, it's Sam Vatterott, wearing the number 21, the right-hander, getting set to throw in the black uniforms with the orange and purple against the Kingsmen gold. First pitch of the game to Ryan Waters. Here it is, a fastball high and away for ball one. It's Waters, Beatrice, and Hart. Then Jack Curtis, Hudson Entrikin, and Izzy Classe are the 4, 5, 6. 1-0 to the center fielder, Waters, and he takes it for a called strike, outer half of the plate. 7, 8, 9, 10, Ritzema the catcher, Seminara, Harless, and Bose to round out the Kingsman order. Bose is the designated hitter for Noah Entrikin. 1-1 pitch, called a ball off the outside part of the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Wellington in the field, Till, Guerrero, and Wallace left to right in the outfield grass. 2-1 pitch to the lefty. Waters watches it go at the knees. It's 2-2. Infield of Shop, Ferrer, Brongo, and Aruccia. Torres is the catcher for WSA against the KBA, and here is the 2-2 pitch. Waters takes it at the knees again, and he goes down looking to start inning number 1. Kingsmen, the away team in Game 1 of this prospect series. They'll be the home team tomorrow. Then the away team again to wrap things up. Noah Entrikin with an extra couple of moments to get warm down the third base side. The Kingsmen taking the third base bullpen, and the third base dugout. And Beatrice takes a first pitch ball low of the zone. Beatrice, the second baseman for the Kingsmen. Second on this team in batting average in the early going of the year. Takes a hack at that one, fouls it off. Beatrice hitting .467 over the opening 7 games he's played for the Kingsmen. Coming in 7-2, the varsity dropping in its opening game by a score of 4-3. The pitch, curveball in there at the top of the zone to Beatrice, who has 2 strikes on him quickly. Vatterott struck out Waters, now looking for back-to-back Ks to start off the contest. 2-strike pitch. And Beatrice rolls one to third base, dropped by Shop, and he has no play. So Beatrice reaches with 1 out in the first, and the Kingsmen have their first base runner, Montgomery Hart, the next to hit in the 3 spot, the shortstop for the Kingsmen. Montgomery Hart, one of 4 Kingsmen to have a home run already this spring. One of the other 4 is standing on first base, and he leads the team with 3. Hart in the left-handed batter's box has the platoon advantage against the right-hander. First pitch out of the stretch is high of the zone for ball 1. Welcome into East Cobb, the ABA kickoff. If you're joining us a moment or two late, prospect baseball on tap for you today. Second game of 2 for the Kingsmen as a whole in the academy. They'll play 2 each day, 11:30 and 2 o'clock. 1 out. Off the outside of the plate, outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Jack Curtis on deck, the extra hitter. The Kingsmen hitting 10, as they typically do. The varsity only hit 9 this morning. Most of the varsity guys have taken their spot to the third base side of home plate along the stands, rooting on the rest of the KBA. A throw over to first, but back safely without too much of a problem is Owen Beatrice. Torres putting down the signs behind home plate for Wellington, and Vatterott set to throw the 2-0. Swung on and missed by Hart. He took a home run hack at that one. A little bit of a deeper ballpark here in East Cobb for this game, field number 2. Still not a super deep ballpark, but a little bit more of a challenge. 325 down the lines, 360 in straightaway center. Another throw over as Beatrice goes back. That time with the pickoff, Vatterott hadn't even come set, but he tested Beatrice at first base. Vatterott now set. Couple of balls and a strike to Hart. Lifts the leg and comes home. Hart lifts one to the third base side, foul, hooking out of play, and it is 2-2. Kingsmen looking for some early offense. They grabbed a run in the bottom of the first in the varsity contest. And time called by the left-handed hitter. Outfield for Wellington, Till, Guerrero, and Liam Wallace in right field. 2 strikes to Hart. And he hits it into left center field, hooking toward the gap. Going back on it is Till and Guerrero. Guerrero trying to make the catch up against the wall, unable to do so. It's a double for Montgomery Hart, and runners are on second and third with 1 out. That ball was hit into the gap, and the center fielder, Ruben Guerrero, made a good route to that baseball, crashed into the fence, but could not make the catch. And Jack Curtis is going to hit with a couple in scoring position here in the first. That is Gummy's first double of the season. Second extra base hit after he had that home run at Combine. So here comes the Kingsmen's average leader at the moment. Curtis hitting upwards of 500. Takes that one for a ball. Hitting .545 to be exact through the first 7 games. An OPS up over 1,500. Not a bad start to the spring for Curtis. Looking for a big hit here to score a couple. The pitch. Low of the knees for a ball. He's got himself in a pretty good spot here with 1 away. That error charge to the third baseman Shop really opening up the door for the Kingsmen here in the first. Hart doubled, and now Curtis, Entrekin, and Classe have a chance to start this game off right for the visitors. Curtis sends one to deep left center field. Going back on it is Guerrero. He looks up, and that one is gone! Jack Curtis sends it to the moon, and it's 3-0 here in the first. First home run of the spring for Jack Curtis. He was a home run shy of the cycle on Friday against P27. And he didn't miss that one. It's 3-0 to the Kingsmen here in the first. First pitch to Entrekin, hit hard at the third baseman, called a catch. They throw down to first anyway, but Entrekin has been called out. The catch made by Shop, and there are 2 down.
Go, Terminator!
So a 3-run home run from the main commit has put the Kingsmen up. Now 2 down, and the base is empty for Izzy Classe. First pitch to the third baseman is poked to the second base side. Brongo up with it. To first he goes, and the inning is over. But once again, Jack Curtis with a 3-run bomb, and the Kingsmen lead as we head to the bottom of the first. Noah Entrekin comes out. The lefty will begin work when we return on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. We go now to the bottom of the first. Here's the Kingsmen in the field. The pitcher, Noah Entrekin, and he is throwing to the Canadian catcher, Mason Ritzema. Outfield of Hudson Entrekin, Ryan Waters, and Tristan Harless. And then the infield, Izzy Classe, Montgomery Hart, Owen Beatrice, and Anthony Seminara. First pitch from Entrekin to Ethan Till is at the knees for a called strike. Noah Entrekin has been one of the Kingsmen's most consistent starting arms throughout this first couple of weeks of the season as he fires home the 0-1. Ground ball, short side, fielded by Hart, but off his glove. And Ethan Till is on with nobody out. Entrekin, the innings leader for the Kingsmen so far, has 2 2/3 more innings than anyone else on this roster. He started 3 games. This is his 4th start. 2-0 so far in decisions, and he's only given up 3 hits over 11 innings. Here is Ruben Guerrero, center fielder, with Till leading off at first. And a check swing foul ball sends it to the first base side and foul, 0-1. Entrekin working out of the stretch with the leadoff man on first. Back to first he goes unnecessarily, and that one's fouled off, 0-2. You know Entrekin is going to fill up the zone when he's out there. He has 18 strikeouts to just 1 walk so far this season. Oh-2. That one misses high of the letters. It's 1-2. First ball thrown by Noah here today. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner still leading off at first in Ethan Till. The 1-2 spiked in the dirt. The curveball. Ritzema has it cleanly. And it's 2-2. Guerrero and then Abriel Torres and Liam Wallace, 2, 3, 4 in the Wellington order after Ethan Till reached on the ground ball. Two balls and 2 strikes, and the pitch is fouled away. After a couple of balls in a row, Entrekin fires home the eventual foul, and we'll do the 2-2 one more time. Torres in the on-deck circle for WSA, and Entrekin will pick to first for the first time. Till is back in safely. Entrekin comes set, 2 balls and 2 strikes. He stares at first and goes back that way. Back standing up goes Till. That one was a little bit closer. He started to shuffle towards second base. Two, and a line drive up the middle, base hit into center. Second and first, nobody out, as Guerrero wins the battle to put back-to-back base runners on for Wellington. First pitch coming to the 3-hole. It's a swing and a miss to make it 0-1. Abriel Torres behind in the count, but with the chance to equal or at least chip into this early Kingsman lead. 0-1, and a line drive foul back of home plate to quickly make it 0-2. Guerrero off the first, Till off of second. Liam Wallace is on deck. 0-2 here to Abriel Torres. A couple of glances at second, and now the pitch to the plate. Curveball Did not get the call, and it's 1-2. An excellent 0-2 pitch just off the plate from Entrikin. And the right-hand hitter is still working here with a 1-2 count. One-two. Fastball, and just enough of it to continue this count. A foul ball there keeps it 1-2. Entrikin, Waters, and Harless, that's Hudson Entrikin, in left field. Clase, Hart, Beatrice, and Seminara in the infield. Ritzema doing the catching. He puts his sign down and gets ready to receive the 1-2 pitch from Noah Entrikin. Struck him out. Got him for the first out of the inning. And the strikeout brings up Liam Wallace. First pitch here coming to Liam Wallace, the right fielder for Wellington Sports Academy. First pitch, fastball right down the heart of the plate, make it 0-1. Battle of North Carolina against Florida here in the state of Georgia. As that one's tapped foul, and quickly 2 strikes to the right fielder. The ball's in 2 strikes. Wallace digs back in. Vatterott on deck. And a throw over to first. Seminara applies the tag, but he's back in. Ruben Guerrero. Sam Vatterott is the starting pitcher for Wellington. He is set to hit. Entrikin glances at second a couple of times. Hart backs off, and the 2-strike pitch is just off the plate. Another tempting one from the left-hander. Still in a good spot against the Wellington cleanup man. Here it is from the lefty. And a pop-up foul once more. The Kingsmen cleanup hitter in the top of the first came up with 2 runners on. Granted, they were on second and third, and he put a home run over the left center field fence. Liam Wallace looking to chip into this Kingsman lead 3-0 in the bottom of inning number 1. 2 strikes from Entrikin. The curveball just south. And it is 2-2. Couple of breaking balls, not chased by Wallace. Here in today's prospect opener for the KBA. 2-2. That curveball got him. Sat it in the zone. Wallace watched it fly by, and there are 2 away. Back-to-back strikeouts for Entrikin, up to 20 on the spring. And Vatterott will hit with 2 on and 2 out. Entrikin's first pitch to Vatterott, dropped by Ritzema just high of the letters. It's ball 1. In the second for the Kingsmen, it'll be 7-8-9. Ritzema, Seminara, and Harless set to do battle with Vatterott. The Wellington hitter looking to give himself some help on the mound. The 1-0. A fly ball to the right side, hooking toward the line and foul. Harless chasing but runs out of room, and the count is 1-1. Entrican glares at second, now comes to the plate. A line drive, Hart jumps, but it's over his head. Hudson Entrican fires the ball into the plate. Ritzema comes out in front of home plate to claim it, and the run scores. It's an RBI single from the Wellington pitcher, Sam Vatterott. 3-1 the score, and still runners on second and first with 2 away. They'll have a courtesy runner for Vatterott down at first base. First pitch hit foul off the bat of Farrer. Now that run came in to score off the bat of Vatterott, but because there was an error on the first play of the inning, it's an unearned run, so the ERA still at 0 for Noah Entrican on the spring. That pitch high, throw down to first from Ritzema, back in time goes that courtesy runner. Sixth hitter of the inning for Wellington. The Kingsmen sent 6 to the plate themselves in the first. Able to cash in 3. 3 runs came in. 3 hitters were put out. Entrican's pitch, curveball, dropped in there nicely for a strike. One ball and 2 strikes. An appeal says no swing. Entrican settles back in, glances at second, fires the pitch home. It's a curveball grounded to Hart at short. He will take it to the bag himself and end the inning. So 1 run comes in for Wellington, but the Kingsmen have the lead after the first inning has been completed. Way to the second, 3-1, Kingsmen up. Second inning of work here. Mason Ritzema, the leadoff man, 7, 8, 9. Ritzema, Seminara, and Harless. And the lefty will face Sam Vatterott for the first time and pops one foul to the third base side. It hooks over the trees and out of play. 3 runs in the first for the Kingsmen off of the Jack Curtis home run, his first home run of the spring. The 5th Kingsman to send one out of the yard so far in the 2026 spring season. 0-1 to Ritz, and he check swings it to the third baseman. Shop up with it, throws to first, stretches there at full extension. The play is made by Aruccio for the first out of the inning. Good thing he stretched beforehand. There's one out here in the second. Anthony Seminara the next to hit. I know I couldn't do that. First pitch coming here to Tony. Seminara swings through a fastball to open up that at bat. It's 0-1. Seminara had an RBI double against the P27 Premier team last Friday. He chops one foul to the third base side foul. 0-2.
Over here. Over here. It says.
No balls and 2 strikes. One away here in the second. A 2-run lead for the Kingsmen. There's a scoreboard over the left center field fence, but no one operating it as Seminara goes after that slider. Drop third strike is in play, and Seminara is thrown out as Torres makes a good throw. 2 away, Tristan Harless to hit. Kingsman trying to avoid going down in order here in the second after a productive first inning. Entrican will come out in the bottom of the second and face Brongo, Aruccio, and Shop. 7-8-9 for WSA. That one off the outside part of the plate, ball 1. Tristan Harless getting set to unleash one. 1-0. He takes a big cut at that one. 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. If the inning continues, we'll see Ashton Bowes, who's in the on-deck circle as we speak, the designated hitter hitting for Entrican. 1-1. Harless takes that strike on the top part of the zone, and it is 1-2. 2 hits for each team so far. Harless looking for the Kingsmen's third. 2-strike pitch. Curveball, watched it go, and we'll live to see another pitch. That one called a ball. A sunny day, a chilly day in East Cobb, but the sun has come out this afternoon. 2 strikes. And Harless, that one's a little easier of a decision, takes that one. Three and 2 is the count. Full count to Harless. The right fielder digs in. The pitch from the right-hander is off the plate outside. A 2-out walk for Tristan Harless gives the Kingsmen some life here in the second, and Ashton Bowes will hit to round out the order. Out of the stretch now, Vatterott throws a first pitch high of the zone, 1-0. Coach Joe Hudak giving signs down at third. Preston, who gave the signs for the varsity game, over at first base, currently wearing the ankle guard of Tristan Harless. That tag not in time, but close. Harless back quickly. Looked a little shaken up after that dive back into first, but he's all right to continue. No stoppage necessary. Bowes digs back in. Yet to see his first, or rather, he's up 1-0, and now it's 1-1. So it's a popped foul. Ryan Waters on deck. If the inning continues, we'd see the top of the order for the second time. The Kingsman prospect team looking for a win to open up the ABA kickoff. The team separated into prospect and varsity from here on out. Glance over the shoulder. Now breaking for second, Harless. The throw down, not in time. A stolen base for Tristan Harless as Torres' throw took the second baseman Brongo up the line. Harless has himself a stolen base, and he's in scoring position. First stolen base of the spring for Tristan Harless. He's in scoring position with 2 down. A good count for Ashton Bowes. Vatterott checks on second, now comes to the plate. And it's a 3-1 count for the big right-hander. Ashton Bowes hitting .375 so far this spring for the Kingsmen. Only 3 games played. This is his 4th. He fouls off the 3-1 to get it to 3-2. He had a good game against the P27 Premier squad. A couple of base knocks in that one. He scored on his first single, ended up with 2 singles in that contest. A big win for the Kingsmen in their final game as a collective group. 3-2 the count with Harless on second base. Bowes looking for some 2-out, 2-strike production, and he doesn't need it that time. That pitch, not a contest, and it's a walk. Back-to-back walks issued by Vatterott, and that will draw a mound visit from WSA. Wellington can have a chat with their pitcher. We'll step aside for one moment here in the second inning. Waters to hit when we return.
Or anything, it just translates right in your ear.
First pitch to Waters as we're back underway. Oh, and no, a balk has been called. No pitch, a balk puts runners on second and third. The Kingsmen will take that gift. So no pitch, the count is still 0-0. Ryan Waters looking for some big production. And Vatterott going to step off, have a conversation with both his third baseman and his catcher. He comes out of the mound visit and immediately balks. And now the Kingsmen on the precipice of a couple more runs. Already up 2 here in the second. Waters, the leadoff man, looking to do a job. First pitch. Out of the windup is off the plate, 1-0. In there for a strike to make it 1-1. Ryan Waters with hits in in 3 of his last 4 games for the Kingsmen. Takes ball 2 high and away. And he's once again ahead in the count. He had 2 hits against P27 Academy Premier and had a hit in each of the 2 games he played against Combine Academy. 2-1. And a swing and a miss to make it 2-2. Owen Beatrice to hit once again. If this inning continues, reached on an error and scored his first time around. 2 strikes to Ryan Waters, the pitch. Curveball struck him out, and Waters has gone down swinging to end the second inning. The Kingsmen put a couple in scoring position, but unable to cash in. We head to the bottom half of inning number 2, and we return on the Kingsmen Baseball Network.
So I thought that would be helpful.
Bottom of the second here, Noah Entrikin on the mound. The left-hander gave up an unearned run in the first inning, and he gets a pop-up on the first pitch. Beatrice called off by Harless, and Tristan Harless makes the catch on the first out of the half inning. Entrikin right back where he left off, and he'll face Joey Aruccio with one away. I'd like to thank you for joining us from wherever you may be, Kingsmen fan or Wellington fan. Thanks for joining us here on this Tuesday in East Cobb. A foul ball strike landed in the mitt of Ritzma off the screen, but unfortunately it doesn't count like that. So Aruccio wearing the number 0 for Wellington. It's a left-on-left matchup, the 0-1 pitch. Curveball downstairs, 1-1. 1-1. High for ball 2. And that's line down the left field line. Going after it, Entrikin will not get there, but he cuts it off in the corner. 1-out single for Joey Aruccio. 3 hits already for Wellington off of Noah Entrikin, equaling the amount of hits he'd given up so far this season coming in. Runner on first, 1 away for the 9-hole hitter Parker Shop. Fastball swung on and missed to make it 0-1. Three to 1 is the score. Wellington now out hitting the Kingsmen. 3-2. There's a swinging strike to make it 0-2. Infield of Clase, Hart, and Beatrice and Seminara set to roll a pair if they can get a ground ball off the bat of Shop. Meanwhile, Will Eaton stands on deck. 0-2, line foul. Hooking toward one of the adjacent fields and out of play. Two-strike pitch coming from Entrikin, and another foul ball to remain 0-2. Entrikin, the left-hander, stares down the runner at first, now pitches to the plate, and it is low and in for ball. Or no, it hit him. They say it hit him. There are runners on second and first with 1 away. So an opportunity with 2 strikes to get the 9-hole, and that opportunity is lost. So now the very bottom of the Wellington Sports Academy order. Second and first, 1 away. And a fastball right down the heart of the plate to start off strong from Entrikin. Top of the order looming with Ethan Till in the on-deck circle. Kingsman trying to maintain its 2-run second inning lead. 0-1 at the letters for a called strike. Entrikin, once ahead, has himself ahead 0-2. 0-2 pitch. Oh yeah, on 3 pitches. And Eaton strikes out. 3rd strikeout of the day for Noah Entrikin. And he's got 2 on and 2 out, similar to last inning, this time to face Ethan Till. Reached on an error by Montgomery Hart in the first and later came in to score Wellington's only run to this point. An important first pitch to set the tone here coming from the Kingsman lefty. Spiked, and it got by Ritzema. So both runners take an extra 90 feet. Now that only hurts you if Ethan Till can come up with a base hit. But it certainly puts more pressure on the Kingsmen left-hander out of Oklahoma. Line drive foul off the bat of Entrican. One of the Kingsmen's top uncommitted arms. Trying to work himself out of the second. Out of the windup, the 0-1. Fastball downstairs, 1-1. Or rather, I have to get you the official count. It is 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Outside corner, dotted it for strike 2. This will be the 47th pitch for Noah Entrican. The 2 strikes. Curveball just missed, and the count is full. Ruben Guerrero will hit if the inning continues. 2, 3, 4 set to come up for the Kingsmen once we get to the 3rd. Full count pitch. Entrican shakes off twice. Now likes what he sees. Here's the payoff. Fastball popped up third base side, hooking and foul of the line to keep the at-bat alive. Another 3-2 coming, infield back for the Kingsmen. Runners on second and third for Wellington. Here it is. And it's lined toward the shortstop. Gummy hard on a bounce. Has to go to first. The scoop was dropped. I don't think it was in time anyway. Infield hit for Ethan Till. Makes it 3-2 here in East Cobb. That ball fell about 6 inches in front of Montgomery Hart. Unable to make the catch to end the inning right there, so he had to go to first base. And it was not in time. So Ruben Guerrero hitting with the score now 3-2. First earned run of the season for Noah Entrican on the mound. First pitch, a curveball. Dropped it in there on the inner half for a strike. Fastball swung on and missed for strike number 2. Beatrice, Hart, and Curtis set to lead off the third, the 0-2. And a line drive foul. Guerrero well behind that fastball, but fought it off. He singled to bring in Ethan Till in the bottom of the first. Now only a 1-run Kingsman lead. These teams fighting in the early going. Runner on the move early. Entrican steps off. And now the mind games begin. Entrican gonna essentially just walk Till back to first. And that is the veteran understanding to just say, hey, I'm not gonna deal with this right now. Let me pitch. So Till takes off for second now. High. Throw goes down to second, and nobody covered the bag. Nobody covered the bag at second base, and the game is tied. Clase fielding it at third as the throw came in from center field. And that is an unbelievable mistake by the middle of the Kingsmen infield. Neither Hart nor Beatrice covered second base with the runner on the move. And the strikeout ends the inning. So 2 runs come in to even the score. And it's 3-3 as we head to the third on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. We head to the third inning here in East Cobb, Georgia. Owen Beatrice is set to lead off the inning, and he takes a pitch. I do believe that was called a ball to start off this third. 3-3, we're all knotted up. Beatrice rips that one at the shortstop, but it's playable for Ferrer. Throws low, but it's scooped by Aruccio for the first out of the inning. First baseman bails out the shortstop, out number 1 here in the third. Montgomery Hart doubled off the left center field fence and came in to score. His first time up, he scored on the Curtis home run. Jack Curtis standing on deck. 1-0 to Hart, looking to give the Kingsmen back the lead. Out of the windup, the pitch from Vatterott. Downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Kingsmen got 2 runners on via the walk in the second, but unable to cash in. Here's the 2-0 to Hart. Upstairs, and now a 3-0 count. Hart takes and a 4-pitch walk starts the Kingsmen offense here on the third. Jack Curtis homered the 3 runs that the Kingsmen have, credited to him via the RBI. Since then, it's been 3 straight for Wellington over the 2 innings that followed. Curtis batting with a runner on first and 1 out after the Hart walk. Gummy thought about taking off, now back to first. The throw picked by the first baseman, Aruccio. The swing and a miss from Curtis. He's behind 0-1. Hart back with a dive. Once again closed. That pickoff move from Vatterott is one of the better ones the Kingsmen have seen this spring. It's over there in a hurry. Hart off of first. Conservative lead now at the first base bag. Vatterott out of the stretch. There's the pitch to Curtis. And Curtis hits it foul. 0-2. All tied up here at the Perfect Game Complex in East Cobb. East Cobb Baseball, the site of the ABA Kickoff, the Academy Baseball Association's opening event here in 2026. Hart on the move. A line drive that it looks like it'll get down in front of the center fielder and then off the glove. Off the glove. Curtis into second with a dive, and the ball dropped by the second baseman, and everybody's safe. Everybody's safe. Curtis has himself his second hit. Runners on second and third with only 1 away. Another productive inning for the meat of the Kingsmen order, and it'll bring out another mound visit for Vatterott as Hudson Entrikin stands ready to hit. We'll have to wait on the official score, but at least in my scorebook here, I've written down a double for Jack Curtis, given the difficulty of that play. Either way, regardless of single or double, Curtis has his second hit. First pitch to Entrikin. Inside, he got out of the way, and it's 1-0. Lined out to the third baseman his first time up. The right-hander comes home and deals a strike to Entrikin, 1-1. It's the Kingsmen against the Gators here in East Cobb, Georgia. 1-1. And it's in the dirt, ball 2. Infield is in for WSA. Here's the 2-1. And Entrikin chops it to third. Called a fair ball. They come to the plate. And Hart tagged out. Heads up play by the third baseman Shop to make the out at the plate. It's a fielder's choice. Entrikin's on first. Curtis now on third. But the score still 3-3. First and third play on for Wellington. They scored their third run on a first and third that the Kingsmen were unable to execute. The ball ended up in center field. Entrikin stays put on the first pitch. Classe swings behind on a fastball. It's 0-1. Spiked in the dirt, but a big catch from Torres to keep a run off the board. Izzy Classe 318 coming in to today's contest. Had 2 hits his last time out against P27 Academy Premier. Took that one low, a fake throw down to second, so Entrican has the stolen base. Back to third safely goes Curtis. Second and third with 2 outs. Classe's 2 hits in that P27 game on the 20th broke a 2-game hitless streak. It's outside. Two extra base hits on the season for Classe, and doesn't necessarily need one of those here. Just an opportunity to knock in some runs, but he'll take the walk. And Mason Ritzema will come out with the chance to get the production to happen. He'll do it against a new pitcher. Second mound visit of the inning will knock Sam Vatterott out of this ball game. 3-3 the score in the guest half of the third. Step aside and a new arm on the mound when we get back on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. So an extremely important at-bat begins here in the third. Mason Ritzema batting with 2 outs and the bases loaded. New pitcher on the mound for WSA is the extra hitter Eaton Will. Will, the right-hander, out to relieve Vatterott, whose day ends after 2 2/3. Bases loaded, 2 down. First pitch coming here to the Canadian catcher Ritzema. And he pops it up third base side. Going back onto Shop. Shop settles under right on the foul line and makes the catch to retire the side and escape the jam. Kingsmen unable to find production in the third. They leave the bases loaded and we head to the bottom half. 3-3 the score as we head to the bottom of the third. Back here in East Cobb, Georgia, the site of the ABA kickoff here in 2026, 3-3. The score between the Kingsmen Prospect and Wellington Sports Academy out of Florida. I don't know if it applies to anyone else on this Kingsmen team, but it's my first time in the state of Georgia. Getting my first look at a new part of the Southeast. Haven't gotten to see too much yet, but hopefully going to get to see and take in a couple of the surroundings here in the Atlanta area. I guess if anybody's got some good food recommendations, let me know. My first Georgia meal was Applebee's, and I don't know if that's an accurate depiction of the great state that we're in right now. (10-1-2) set. Or rather, I guess it's 3-4-5 set to lead off the third. Entrikin with a first pitch fastball low to Abriel Torres, who struck out his first time up to the plate. Struck out for the first out that Entrikin recorded in this contest. Foul ball. Entrikin out of the windup after the foul ball. Goes back to the fastball and dots the zone for strike two. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's Torres, Wallace, and Vatterott. We'll see if Vatterott remains in the game as the designated hitter now that he is done pitching. 2-strike pitch from Entrikin. Spiked the curveball. Good break to that one, but it's 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes out of the windup. Here's Entrikin's pitch. And gets the swing and a miss. Torres goes down with the K for the second time in a row. And there's one down. The Kingsmen in the top of the third unable to cash in on a bases-loaded opportunity. Given the tied score, they love to put up a defensive 0. Wellington having scored 1 run in the first, 2 runs in the second. Entrikin's first pitch to the cleanup man is a breaking ball that drops in there to Wallace. Got Liam Wallace looking to start or for the second out of the first inning. 0 for 1 for the right fielder. Goes back to the curveball, went around, absolutely no appeal needed, and it is 0-2. Sam Vatterott is in the on-deck circle for WSA. The Gators, the home team on the scoreboard today out of Florida. 0-2 to the fastball this time, and downstairs 1-2 to Liam Wallace. Left on left matchup. Entrikin back into his motion, fires home. Curveball, oh yeah. Back to back. Just as he did in the first, he strikes out Torres and Wallace back to back. And Vatterott comes to the dish with the bases clear and 2 down. Sam Vatterott's 1 for 1 today, poked a single to center field. That continued that first inning. It was actually Vatterott that had the RBI single. That one missed the zone. Said last inning that it was Guerrero. Guerrero advanced Till from first to second, and then Vatterott singled him in for the opening run for Wellington. The pitch from Entrikin. A fly ball right field, hooking toward the corner, a long way for Harless. And he gets there, makes the 2-hand catch, and ends the inning. No Entrikin sees the minimum in inning number 3, and that's exactly what the Kingsmen needed defensively. Tie scores. We head to the 4th. The Kingsmen and the Gators right here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Top of the fourth here as we're back in East Cobb. First pitch to Anthony Seminara is off the plate inside. 1 ball, no strikes to the 8-hole hitter. It's 8, 9, 10 due up for the Kingsmen. Seminara, Harless, and Bowes. Seminara chops one foul third base side. Coach Joe Hudak tried to make that play, came up short. That's 1-1. Normally those ground balls he lets go, but that one was hit at a moderate enough speed that the head coach gave it a try. 1 ball, 1 strike after the foul ball, and Seminara takes ball 2. That one high of the zone. A decent crowd on hand here in East Cobb. Scattered parents from each side, and then a couple of spectators. That one foul to make it 2-2. Kingsmen varsity team mostly camped out behind home plate. Off of their 4-3 loss to P27, a controversial ending of that game, which saw the Kingsmen have the tying run on third, bases loaded with nobody out, unable to score in that 7th. Seminara went around with the appeal. It's confirmed, 1 out. The Kingsmen had a strikeout to bring about the first out of that 7th inning, and then there was a chopped ground ball by catcher Jack Catron. Dino Catani slid into second base, and what looked like it was going to be a fielder's choice as that bunt is poked down by Harless, but right at the pitcher, and the call is out at first. 1-3 it goes, 2 outs quickly. Harless with that drag bunt just couldn't get it up the line, and there's 2 outs here in the 4th. Dino Catani had slid into second base, ended up getting called for interference. And because of that, Catron was called out at first. I think Catron would have been safe by about 10 feet without that call. Throw to first is plenty in time to get Ashton Bowes that routine ground ball to the shortstop fair. And that half inning is over in a hurry. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Still 3-3. We'll see if Entrikin's back out on the mound. He's walking that way. We'll be right back. Bottom of inning number 4 here in East Cobb. 3-3, we are all square. Noah Entrikin got 3 in a row in the 3rd, now looks to do the same here in the 4th. Jorge Ferrer takes a ball high, grounded into a fielder's choice. The bottom of the 1st. 2 balls, no strikes now to the shortstop. Grounded into a fielder's choice to end the inning, so he never really got to spend too much time on first base. 2-0. Entrikin's 2-0 pitch is grounded to Montgomery Hart at short. Hart over to Seminara in time, and Seminara kept his foot on the bag for the first out of the inning. This game continues to move. We're through 3.5 in a hurry, bottom 4. Some early scoring from both teams, but no runs since the bottom of the 2nd. We've reached a bit of a stalemate here in the Atlanta area. First pitch, line down the third base line, but foul. Entrikin was chasing, and he pulls up. That ball ends up actually bouncing right back toward him in fair territory. It's 0-1. The Kingsmen went down 1-2-3 in the top of the fourth right after Wellington did so in the bottom of inning 3. So the prospect team will send up their top 3 in the order when they come back around to hit in the 5th. Owens off the plate inside. 1-1 to David Brongo, who flew out to right field his first time. It's Brongo, then Aruccio, 6, 7, 8 here in the 4th for Wellington. Curveball. Did not get the call on the outer edge. 2-1. Two-one count, Entrikin's pitch. A fastball grounded to Montgomery Hart again. Hart with his second play in the inning, and he throws to Seminara in time for out number 2. Easy to get into a rhythm when you're getting balls hit your way. He made the early error in this one, but has now made 2 infield assists in a row. Here's Joey Aruccio, who singled and scored in the 2nd. Left-on-left matchup. Entrikin looking to retire 7 in a row. He's got 6. That first curveball outside, 1-0. Kingsman had 3 runs in the early innings. Top of the first, Jack Curtis hit a 3-run bomb to give them the lead. And the game now tied. Entrikin gets a check swing ground ball foul. Izzy Classe ended up with it a few feet shy of the third base line. It's 1-1. Once again, when the Kingsmen come up in the 5th, it'll be Ryan Waters, Owen Beatrice, and Montgomery Hart. 1, 2, 3 in the Kingsmen order. Aruccio retrieves the bat that was set down nicely for him on top of home plate. And Entrikin back into the windup, fires home the left-handed pitch. In the dirt, blocked by Ritzma. 2 balls and a strike. Two balls and a strike. Aruccio digs back in. The pitch from Entrikin swung on and missed. Fastball at the shoulder blades, and it's 2-2. Noah Entrikin has retired 6 batters in a row, including 3 strikeouts in that stretch. Now has 2 strikes to Aruccio, and does not get the call at the knees. The fastball trying to win the favor of the home plate umpire. It's 3-2. Parker Shop on deck if the inning continues. Full count pitch. And it's in the dirt for a 2-out walk. First walk of the game for Noah Entrikin, just his 2nd on the season. And a runner on first with 2 away. Coach Joe Hudak going to have a chat with Entrikin. There is some bullpen activity. I do believe it's Case and Young down there, down the third base line, and we're going to see a call to the pen. Noah Entrikin's day is done in the 4th. 3-3 ball game, and a new arm to the mound when we come back on the Kingsmen Baseball Network.
Well, if one breaks, he'll just ask it from you back from you.
Kason Young is on the mound for the Kingsmen. New pitcher to replace Noah Entrican, who went 3 2/3. Get you his final line in just a moment. Parker Shop was hit by a pitch and came in to score on that throw out to the outfield on the third first. Runner on first and 2 away after the 2-out walk. Kason Young throws the first pitch well high of the zone. Started the spring in the likely prospect rotation, now coming out of the pen in this one for Entrican. That one just high of the letters, 2-0. We'll see if Kason ends up making regular relief appearances, and maybe we see a guy like Brandon Falk enter the rotation as that third arm, or if Kason is just out of the pen today and will be back in the starting rotation soon. That one is in the dirt, and it is 3 balls and no strikes. .30 in the dirt, 4-pitch walk out of the pen for Kason Young. It has been tough for him in his last couple of starts. Kason brings into this game 10 walks to 9 strikeouts, an 11 ERA, and a whip up over 2.5. Trying to get back on track after that walk to start off his relief appearance. Doing so against the bottom of the order, which helps. But he's got to settle in soon with Ethan Till and Ruben Guerrero waiting on deck and in the hole, respectively. Will Eaton is the 10 hole, now the pitcher for Wellington. Started the game as the EH. Right foot on the back line of that right-hand batter's box. Batting with runners on second and first, Kason Young delivers first pitch, swung on and missed. It was in the dirt, but a good breaking ball to get ahead of Will Eaton, who struck out swinging in the second inning. That was the third of what ended up being 6 strikeouts on the day for Noah Entrican. .01 filters outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. 3-3 is your score. Thanks for joining us here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network here on YouTube. We'll be back at it with an 11:30 varsity game and a 2 p.m. prospect game just like today. Once again tomorrow here at East Cobb Baseball, Marietta, Georgia. 1-1, outside corner. Got it with the breaking ball. That's the first time that he's dropped one into the strike zone, and it was an excellent pitch to get it to 1-2. A strike away from escaping this jam and keeping the game tied. Top of the order due up in the 5th for the Kingsmen. 1-2 count. Kason Young takes a deep breath and comes home. Struck him out looking. Dropped it down the middle. And Will Eaton froze to end the 4th. We head to inning number 5, 3-3, here in East Cobb, right here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Back here in the 5th. Tie ball game, top of the order to face Will Eaton. The first pitch, low of the knees to Ryan Waters. Waters is looking to find that hot streak he found against P27 Premier. 0 for 2 today with a couple of strikeouts. It's Waters, Beatrice, Hart. 1-0, now 2-0. That one's high. A tie ball game in the 5th on a chilly day here in East Cobb. 50 degrees, and it'll only get colder as now it's 3-0 to Ryan Waters. Certainly wouldn't mind a leadoff walk to try to break him out of this little cold stretch. He's taken all the way, flipped the bat, but it's called a strike. Or no, it was not called a strike. I saw the signal, but it was a motion for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk sends Ryan Waters to first base, and that's a good start to the 5th for the Kingsmen. Mound visit here in East Cobb. We'll be right back on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Back here after the quick mound visit, runner on first and nobody out for Owen Beatrice, who will see a pitch once Eaton decides to come to the plate after that quick pickoff move. Beatrice with the slash bunt, and he grounds it to third, and it's through the hole. Excellent execution of the slash by Owen Beatrice, and he's got himself a base hit. He had the third baseman crashing and the shortstop moving a little towards second base, and he put it right between them. Runners on second and first, nobody out, and Montgomery Hart, the hitter. Waters a good lead off a second. The pitch to Hart. Hart square, now pulled back. 1-0. One ball and no strikes. We'll see if Gummy squares again. He does not, and he takes it high for ball 2. Hitters count here for Montgomery Hart, who's reached both times he's been at the plate. Had a double in the first and a walk in the third. The 2-0 is down the heart of the plate for strike 1. Jack Curtis hitting next for the Kingsmen. A home run and a double so far for Curtis. Hart, the left-handed bat, has the runners on the move. Throw down to third. A dive from Waters, and he is in there. Double steal for the Kingsmen, and runners on second and third with nobody out. The top of the order showing how lethal it can be, and Hart has himself in a good spot to give the Kingsmen back the lead. Infield comes in from Wellington Sports Academy. The Gators trying to keep the Kingsmen off the board. They've done so since the first inning. The pitch to Hart. High. And the count is full. Will Eaton has done a decent job since coming out of the pen. Delivers a pitch that's popped up to left field. Under it is Till, tagging and coming to the plate, Ryan Waters. The throw to the plate is not in time. In with the dive, Ryan Waters. The Kingsmen have the lead. They make an appeal to third base, and Ryan Waters is called out on appeal. The home plate umpire making that call. And now, instead of the Kingsmen taking the 4-3 lead, there are 2 outs with a runner on second. I didn't see it. So, no longer a sacrifice fly, now a fly out. Coach Joe Hudak still having some words with the home plate umpire. So after that, it is now a runner on second and 2 outs. A tied game still in Georgia. Unfortunately, the angle we have here, unable to see third base. We don't have a great look at that call. But called out, erases the run, and high now to Jack Curtis. See how the Kingsmen respond. Jack Curtis is the man at the plate to do it. 2 for 2, a home run and a double. And now 2 outs after the fly ball and the appeal. Curtis swings and lines one left side, but foul.
I gotta pick it up.
That had the dugout and the third base side stands up to their feet. As Curtis lashed out at another one.
Come on, Jack.
After the foul ball, Curtis digging back in. Still on second base, Owen Beatrice would look to score on a base hit. Line drive now, this one's lifted to the left field corner, and again it goes foul. Curtis ahead of things, but he refuses to miss out on a barrel right now. Hudson Entrikin's on deck if this inning continues. A 5th inning that is changed in shape.
Let's go, Jack.
3-3 the ball game here at East Cobb. Prospects opener in the ABA kickoff. 2-strike pitch to Curtis, and a defensive hack this time to stay alive.
Put it in the baseball field game. I got it in the fridge. Bravo, yeah.
I heard that. Here we go, Jack.
Another 2-strike pitch to Curtis. He grounds it up the middle, beyond the shortstop. Beatrice getting the wave home. 1 ball, 2 bounce to the plate, and the run is made by Jack Curtis's RBI single. The Kingsmen find a way to take the lead regardless. That ball hit hard to center field. Beatrice was gunning for home from the jump, and the throw from Guerrero took a couple too many hops on the way into home plate to have much of a chance. So 4-3 the score. Hudson Entrikin now the batter, and the Kingsmen have the 1-run lead after the RBI. What a day for Jack Curtis. To the backstop it goes, off the screen, and now a throw to third. Curtis in there safely. Started to overslide the bag there, so he had to get his left hand on it, and did so successfully. 1-0. Kingsmen by 1 run. Classe on deck if the inning continues. The pitch to Entrikin is taken for a ball outside. Expect to see Kingsmen Young back in the 5th to face the top of the Wellington Sports Academy order. That one's in there for a strike. 2 strikes to Entrican. Coach Hudak still unhappy with the way this half inning has gone behind the plate. That one's in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher Torres, but he's able to scramble and keep Curtis at third base. 4-3 is the score. Kingsmen leading Wellington here in the top half of inning number 5. Still some time to go in this ball game. After 4:15 local time, the game that was supposed to start at 2 didn't get started until closer to 3. 2-strike pitch to Entrican, taken for a ball. And the left fielder gets a walk. Runners on the corners here with 2 away.
He went like this, and then he just said he went. He knows he would have got.
I saw this, he had a ball, and his hand was heavy, and he grabbed it. And he literally knocked it in that corner.
Izzy Classe with runners on the corners after back-to-back base runners for the Kingsmen. And Classe rips one to right to a slide. The right fielder makes a diving catch. Play made by Liam Wallace in right field to save another run. Not the first time that we've seen a nice play against the Kingsmen today in either ball game. 4-3 after a run gets scored in the 5th. The Kingsmen retake the lead, and Kingsmen Young faces the top of the Gator order when we return on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Back here in East Cobb, the Kingsmen have the lead once again. 4-3 is the score. Kingsmen prospect up against Wellington Sports Academy. First pitch inside on the fastball to Ethan Till. Kingsmen Young back out there in relief of Noah Entrican, who went 2 2/3, surrendering 1 earned run, 2 unearned. Kaysen spikes that one, and the count is 2-0. Kaysen started off his relief appearance with a 4-pitch walk, but then was able to lock in and strike out Will Eaton with the bat on the pitcher's shoulder. Facing the top of the order here, and now another pitch runs inside. 3 balls and no strikes. The Kingsmen do have some bullpen activity going down the third base side if things require it. 3-0. Kason Young has walked Ethan Till on 4 pitches. Ruben Guerrero will hit next. Coach Joe Hudak going to come out, talk with Kason Young, and he points out to right field at Tristan Harless. Tristan Harless heads to the mound. That's the second time today we have seen the Kingsman right fielder come in to pitch. Caden McNeil's going to head out to the outfield. I would expect to see Hudson Entrican move from left to right and McNeil move to left. We will see what changes officially are made as Tristan Harless will be the next pitcher for the Kingsmen when we get back. Back here in the bottom of inning number 5, a new pitcher on the mound for the Kingsmen, Tristan Harless, came in from right field, and those defensive changes that were speculated are correct. Caden McNeil moves to left field off the bench, and Hudson Entrican moves from left field to right field. Ryan Waters remains in center, and Tristan Harless' first pitch is off the plate outside to Ruben Guerrero. 1 for 2 today, a single and a strikeout. Ethan Till stands on first base, having reached all 3 times up to the plate. 1-run ball game here in East Cobb, and a ground ball to the third baseman, Clase Fields, to second for 1, to first. In-time double play. Around the horn the Kingsmen go. 5-4-3 for 2. And how about Izzy Clase fielding that ground ball, taking an extra half second to make sure that throw is on the money to second rather than rushing. They still had time to turn the double play. So Torres is up 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts, and the bases are empty. First ball high of the zone. That's the second around the horn double play the Kingsmen have turned today. Turned 1 in the prospect game in the first inning, or rather in the varsity game, excuse me. Check swing, no swing, says the base umpire. It's 2-0. Hitters count here for Abriel Torres, the 3-hole hitting catcher. Just has not had the bat going so far today. Entrican struck him out both times they faced off. 2-0. Right down the heart of the plate. 2-1 after the strike. The Kingsmen in the 6th will bring up Mason Ritzema, Anthony Seminara, and Tristan Harless. We'll see how the changes in the field affect the Kingsmen batting order. Ground ball, third base side. It is the shortstop Hart up with it. The throw skips in the dirt and gets beyond Seminara. Torres reaches with the error. That's the second error on a Montgomery Hart today. The first one a fielding error. That one was a throwing error. Seminara had the backhand scoop opportunity but came up empty, and Torres stands on first with 2 outs. We'll see what Liam Wallace can do with the gift. Courtesy runner in for Wellington, with Torres being the catcher. So their courtesy runner stands a few feet off of first base, Seminara holding him on. Harless's first pitch to the cleanup man is low and away, ball 1. Liam Wallace also 0 for 2 today with a couple of strikeouts. Struck out looking in the first and struck out swinging in inning number 3. Now bats again in the 5th with 2 down. At the letters, a called strike, 1-1. In a 1-run ball game here in East Cobb, 4-3, the Kingsmen have the advantage over Wellington. Runner breaks for second. High pitch. Ritzma throws down, and Hart with the scoop, but does not have the tag. It's a stolen base to get Abriel Torres into scoring position. The pitch was called a ball, so it's 2-1 with Wallace still at the plate. Since coming in out of the pen, Tristan Harless, or rather since coming in out of right field, they throw down to second. They've got him. Scratch that thought. Harless does it himself, and the inning is over. Picked off second to end the 5th. 4-3, we head to inning number 6 here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. The 6th inning begins with Mason Ritzema at the plate. Takes a first pitch ball low and in. The Kingsmen tallied 1 in the 5th to get the score to where it stands now. 4-3, they lead over the Wellington Gators of Wellington, Florida. Out of the windup, 1-0 pitch comes into Ritzema and missed the inside corner by a couple of inches. It is 2-0. Now 3 balls and no strikes. A new pitcher on the mound for Wellington. It's Williams, wearing the number 2. Williams working out of the windup, a very slow motion as he brings the leg up and comes home. Ritzema had the take sign, took it for strike 1, 3-1. Seminara on deck. It's Ritzema, Seminara, and Harless, at least that 9 spot. We'll see if Harless hits now that he's the pitcher or if they bring someone else into his spot. 3-1, and Ritzema sends a fly ball to deep center field. Going back on it is Guerrero, but he finds room and makes the catch. 1 out here in the 6th. Tristan Harless heads to the on-deck circle, so he will hit. Anthony Seminara into the batter's box. First pitch coming here to Ant with 1 out and nobody on. Seminara watches it go at the knees. It's called a strike. Torres lost it in the glove, but didn't affect the call from the home plate umpire. 1-run Kingsmen lead here. The road team in today's game. They'll be the home team tomorrow at 2 o'clock. At 1 low of the zone, 1-1. Hopefully tomorrow's game starts a little bit closer to 2 o'clock. Try to get you an update before the varsity stream ends on how that start time is looking. That way those of you tuning in from home aren't completely in the dark. 2 balls and 1 strike now the count. Seminara has struck out swinging both times he's been at the plate. Looking to put up bat on ball here. He does so, but foul, 2-2. Harless went to retrieve that one, but it bounced all the way back into fair territory. Not much the kid can do with that one. Checking that game ball. The ABA supplying the game balls for this tournament. So no Shipyard Park balls that would be typically used in many Kingsmen games. Pitch to Seminara. The 2-2 is in there for a strike. And Seminara has struck out for the 3rd time. Two outs for Tristan Harless, who has walked and grounded out. Harless, the pitcher, started the game in right field. Swings at a fastball that was hit right back to the pitcher. Williams with it, flips to first with plenty of time, and the side is retired in order. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Still a 1-run game here in East Cobb. It's 4-3. The Kingsmen back out to defend their lead when we get back on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Home half of the 6th. Tristan Harless back on the mound in relief. And he throws a first pitch ball just shy of the knees. Facing 4-5-6 here in the 6th. Liam Wallace was at the plate when the 5th inning ended. Abriel Torres getting picked off second base. And a hard line drive right back at Harless. Flips it to first. The out's made, and now the question is he all right? That ball was lasered right back at him. Sounded like the glove got most of the impact. And he does look okay as he walks back to the mound. But an absolute scorcher, and the pitcher makes the play for the first out of the inning.
I guess, yeah.
Pinch hitter here for Wellington. Kenny Tanner is the hitter. Batting for Sam Vatterott, who started the game as the pitcher, got an at-bat as the EH. Looks like his day is now done. Tanner takes a ball up. That one's in there for a strike from Tristan Harless. Two balls and a strike, one out. Harless finding his groove after taking that one right back up the middle. And a tip into the glove of Ritzma for strike number 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jorge Ferrer in the on-deck circle for Wellington, looking for a rally, down just 1 run. Harless takes a deep breath, comes home, and missed Ritzma entirely. It's 3-2. The Kingsmen and the Wellington Gators will be back at it tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We'll have that broadcast for you at the conclusion of tomorrow's 11:30 varsity game. The varsity team taking on Georgia Premier. That one's high, and a 1-out walk issued for Kenny Tanner. Pinch hitter does a job and gets the tying run to the plate. Or rather, the tying run on base. The go-ahead run now at the plate. Jorge Ferrer, who has grounded the ball to the shortstop a couple of times, as a fielder's choice.
Catron, he's in the bullpen.
There's an issue with the glove of Mason Ritzema. Jack Catron is going to run in and give Ritzema his glove. Interesting scenes here in East Cobb. Back here with a new glove for Mason Ritzema. Tristan Harless still on the mound. I think it was a lacing issue on the webbing of that glove. But Ritzema's got himself a new one. It's the one of Jack Catron, so we'll see how it feels on him. And a line drive hit over the first base foul wall and out of play. So Ferrer back in the box after the foul ball. The runner on first and an 0-1 count. Seminar holding on the runner who takes off, and the line drive is over the head of Clase and into left. Caden McNeil fields the ball and gets it in quickly in order to stop Kenny Tanner from taking third base. That's back-to-back base runners for Wellington Academy, and they are threatening here in the 6th.
Don't touch that. Knock it off. Knock it off. Roof.
So after the one-out single, it's David Brongo. The Kingsmen would love a ground ball. Brongo grounded out to Montgomery Hart his last time to the plate. Takes ball one high here. Kingsmen by just one run here in the bottom of the sixth. In the seventh, they'll bring 10-1-2 to the plate, where they will look for a couple more runs here. One-run lead never safe. The 1-0 pitch hit hard down the line, and a foul ball called by our home plate umpire, saving the Kingsmen lead and potentially denying Wellington the opportunity to take the lead themselves. That one was right down the line. That ball was scorched down the line, a long foul ball in the end. Classe had no chance at it, had it stayed fair. 1-1 is the count. Runners still on second and first base. Tanner is on second. Ferrer is on first. Tanner was stealing second on that pitch Ferrer hit to left. It's honestly surprising that he did not end up on third base as a result of that, as Ritzema heads out to have a chat with his pitcher. Word on the street is Harris Clark was in the bullpen earlier. We'll see if he ends up coming in to close this one, should the Kingsmen be in a save situation come the seventh. Wellington, the home team, with two more times, including this one at the plate. The Kingsmen just with one more offensive opportunity. That one's away from the zone. 2 balls and a strike. Brongo at the plate, Aruccio on deck. Harless glances at second base. Beatrice backs off and the pitch comes home. And it's hit high in the air to right field. Under it, Hudson Entrekin tagging the runner from second. And the throw comes in hard for the second out of the inning as Hudson Entrekin making the play. Some words from the dugout coming. Tristan Harless getting over there to third to back up that play, perhaps in a tardy fashion, but getting some words from encouragement from the dugout with 2 away here in the bottom of the sixth. 1-run game here for Joey Aruccio. Takes a first pitch strike on the outside corner. An excellent pitch from Harless to open up the at-bat. Runners on second and first. The runner on second is the tying run. And Ferrer at first is the go-ahead. 4-3 Kingsmen. Harless steps off to recompose himself, up ahead in the count 0-1. 8-hole hitter Aruccio is 1 for 1. He is walked and singled. And is now behind 0-2 after another dime of a pitch from Tristan Harless at the knees. He's a strike away from escaping this jam. The inning started with that line drive right back at him. He made the play. A couple of base runners and a fly out later. And here's the pitch from Harless. Got him! Tristan Harless blows it by Aruccio. And he preserves the 1-run lead as we head to the seventh. 4-3 Kingsmen. We'll be right back. here in the 7th inning. 4-3 the ball game, the score, as Caden McNeil hits a fly ball foul.
Go, Frank.
Batting in place of Ashton Bowes. McNeil playing left field, coming in off the bench when Tristan Harless went to the mound. Out of the windup, here's the pitch from Williams. McNeil watches that one go inside of the plate, 1-1.
Whenever I say big line, I always have to shoot.
McNeil squared to bunt, pulled back, and it's 1-2. Ryan Waters on deck with the top of the order rolling around. Curveball hit McNeil. I'd be willing to wager that ball hit off his sliding mitt with the sound it made as it hit Caden McNeil. You know, that's not why you wear that thing, but I'm sure he'll be happy, especially tomorrow, that he was. Runner on first, nobody out. Top of the order for Ryan Waters. Quick meeting between coach and hitter. Waters is 0 for 2 today, but he did walk his last time up. Called out at third on appeal after he had seemingly scored on a sacrifice fly. Judged to have left early. Kingsmen recovered from that and scored in the 5th regardless. Caden McNeil looks destined to take off, and he does. Fastball down the middle, throw down on a hop. McNeil is in there. That's his 11th stolen base of the spring. 11th already.
Come down here and sit with you and let you know when it's time to quiet. Okay?
He stole second and third during the varsity game. One of the times he was on base. He has another stolen base at the prospect level here today.
Go Kings.
And the speedster's on second. Up top for Ryan Waters. McNeil off of second base. Don't think he's done quite yet. Williams comes set. Dealing off the stretch. Lifts the leg and comes home. And Waters hits it high and deep to right center. Under it, the center fielder Guerrero makes the catch. McNeil will score, or will rather tag, excuse me. He tags and heads to third. And he is there with one away. So the fly out will go against Waters, but it still does an important job there. Putting an insurance run 90 feet away with one out, and Owen Beatrice at the plate. The infield will come in for Wellington. 4-3 ball game, one out here in the 9th. Owen Beatrice squared the bunt. Coach Hudak Beatrice stepping into the box. Coach Hudak being told he can't chat with his hitter. So back into the box he goes. We'll see if he squares again. McNeil on third. First pitch. Beatrice rips it to right field, and it's down for a base hit. RBI single for Owen Beatrice. And McNeil scores to make it 5-3.
Let's go, come here!
Drop that one in front of Wallace and Wright, and it's a 2-run lead for the Kingsmen here in the game's final inning. Montgomery Hart next to hit with one out. Taking off for second, and he'll have to come back. Beatrice had taken off for second. Foul ball from Hart, 0-1. It's Hart, then Curtis, then Entrican.
Very good. Now play like it.
Remember to point this.
0-1 to Montgomery Hart. Runner on first in Beatrice. Took off on the last pitch. And stepping off is the pitcher Williams. Jack Curtis is on deck. He's a triple shy of the cycle, so if he puts one in the gap, he better be on his horse. It's Montgomery Hart digs back in left-hand side. Runner on first and one out. And now Hart stepping out of the box. Been about a minute and a half since we've seen a pitch.
Right here, go.
0-1 the count to Gummy with Beatrice off of first. Stays put, and Hart hits it hard to center field right at Guerrero for the second out of the inning. Second fly out for Hart. He's been hitting the ball hard today, but that time just right at a Wellington outfielder. So here is Curtis, runner on first and 2 out. 5-3 the score, with the Kingsmen clinging to a 2-run lead. They've added one here in the 7th. We'll look to seal the deal during the Wellington bats in the next half inning. Some more time to add to it before then, as Curtis chops the ball to the shortstop. Fielding it cleanly is Furr, and he throws across. And with the full extension again at first base, Aruccio makes the play and ends the inning. Showing off that flexibility all day. We head to the bottom of the 7th. 5-3, the Kingsmen lead by 2 runs here in East Cobb. We'll be right back. We have made it to the final half inning of this contest. 5-3 the score. The Kingsmen lead Wellington Sports Academy out of Wellington, Florida. The Gators have one more chance to rally against the Kingsmen. Tristan Harless still on the mound. We'll see if he is able to finish this game or if he needs any help. He has been in since the 5th inning, came in, immediately got a double play, and then picked off a runner. In the 6th, he recovered from 2 base runners on to get out of that inning and bring us to the 7th. So 2 complete for Tristan Harless, and he starts the 3rd with a strike. Leading off, Parker Shop, the 9-hole hitter, has not registered an at-bat here today. He's been hit by a pitch and walked. He scored in his first plate appearance when he was hit by that pitch. Behind 0-2 here, it's 9-10-1 for Wellington. Parker Shop, Will Eaton, and Ethan Till. Harless comes set at the belt. 0-2, here comes the pitch. Went to the off-speed, got him looking on the inside corner. First out of the 7th comes with the strikeout. Tristan Harless has his second of the game. So here is Jonas Williams, who came in to pitch and now is doing the hitting as well. Takes ball 1 high, filling the spot of Will Eaton, who pitched second for Wellington. Williams, the one to relieve him, and now batting in his spot. 1-0. Harless gets a swing and a miss on a fastball. Looked like the bat path was up over that pitch, and it is 1-1. Infield of Clase Hart, Beatrice, and Seminara. Outfield of McNeil, Waters, and Entrikin trying to slam the door shut on this opening game. 1-1. And a pop-up, foul, right side. Seminara took a few steps after it and gives up on that foul ball. It's out of play, 1-2. After Williams, it'll be Ethan Till in the top of the order. Till has yet to be retired today. He'll bat next. 1-2. Got him! Went to the off-speed. And the Kingsmen have struck out the 10 spot for the 3rd time today. Back-to-back Ks for Tristan Harless, and he has retired 4 in a row. One out away from a win here in East Cobb. Wellington down to its final out. Harless comes set. Lifts the leg and brings home the first pitch down the middle for a strike. Ethan Till is 1 for 2 today. He's reached on an error, singled, and walked. Here's the 0-1. Till watches it go by, 0-2. The Kingsmen are a strike away. Tristan Harless finished off the combined no-hitter against Combine Academy almost a week ago. Back on the mound looking for a 3-inning save. He's going to step off the mound and take a second before delivering the 0-2 pitch. 2-run ball game. And the 0-2 from Harless to try to wrap it up. And a foul ball keeps the game alive. If the game continues, we will see Ruben Guerrero, 1 for 3, grounded into a double play. The first hitter that saw Tristan Harless. The count is still 0-2. The Gators left-hander digs back in. Till has the bat on his left shoulder, and Harless comes to the plate. Line drive left side, down the line, and foul. Foul by about 1.5 feet, and it remains 0-2. Nearly extra bases on that last 0-2 foul ball. Ethan Till still fighting. Down to their final out, down to their final strike. Wellington looking for something. 0-2. Ground ball, second base side. Owen Beatrice fields cleanly, throws to first, ball game. The ground out seals the deal. The Kingsmen prospect take the opening game of 3 against Wellington Sports Academy, and North Carolina triumphs over Florida here on this Tuesday. Final score 5-3. The win goes to Noah, or rather to, I guess it would go to Kason Young. I'll have to look at that to be sure. But unofficially, the win goes to Kason Young. The loss goes to Eaton. And the save over 3 innings is Tristan Harless's. Final score 5-3. Be sure to check out the Kingsman Baseball Game Changer for all final and official stats. That information will all be in there as of the conclusion of this game. We'll be back on the Kingsmen Baseball YouTube channel tomorrow with 2 more games. Kingsmen varsity taking on Georgia Premier at 11:30. That game being played on Field 5 if you're here tomorrow in person. And it'll be streamed right here on the Kingsmen Baseball YouTube channel. And then the prospect team back at it against Wellington. They'll be the home team tomorrow in Game 2 of that series. A successful one for both teams in some facets. The prospect team, in the end, came up a run short. But Kingsmen Prospect win their game against Wellington Sports Academy. 1-0 here in East Cobb, and they'll be back at it looking for the series win tomorrow at 2 o'clock. That'll be all for our coverage here from East Cobb, Georgia. I'm Griffin Leonard saying so long. Once again, the final score, 5-3. The Kingsmen defeat Wellington Sports Academy right here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. We'll see you tomorrow.